Ladies and gentlemen, this is Envoy of Kairos back with another Fandom Speedpaint, and this time we have my personally produced version of Midoriya Izuku for the fic Henshin Hero Academia. As one might expect from the title, my version of Izuku has become a Henshin hero along the lines of Sentai, but much more similar to Kamen Rider. His upcoming hero name, Mugen Rider, even reflects this. As for the bike most Kamen Riders get, you can expect him to have one later. I'll work on the design for it eventually. Just know David Shield will be responsible. But what exactly makes him a Henshin hero? Well, this Izuku happens to have a quirk. If you're wondering what's up with him having one and the involvement of One for All, yes, he does get One for All as well, but it doesn't make him overpowered. Just more flexible and not breaking himself as much or as often as in canon, which pairs well with the increased threats I'm introducing. As for how he can survive taking One for All when having a quirk of his own, it has much to do with the genetic origin of his quirk. No, I'm not playing the Dad for One card. He's not his daddy, he's his grandpa. Sweet irony. The function of his quirk is relatively simple in application, and complex in function. First, he has to collect a genetic sample from someone with a quirk. Could be a hair, could be blood, skin, whatever. Once he has the support gear, he uses vials of diluted genetic solution that are designed for quick and safe injection, as his quirk requires him to get those samples into his bloodstream. Once there, his quirk produces an organic suit, with materials akin to leather, a stretchy skin as spandex, and armor plating made of a dense, insect-like carapace. Each time one is made, it's designed to suit channeling the quirk sample Izuku just took to channel the quirk on his command. As he uses this quirk, the sample he took slowly burns out. Once it's done, the suit sloshes to the ground and rapidly evaporates. So, functionally, he's a Henshin hero with multiple similarities to Kamen Riders, with flexibility in forms, the carapace-based armor with twin horns, and his color scheme even being very similar to the original Kamen Riders of the franchise's first few generations. Honestly, it's an inspiration I'm quite proud of, and shocked that I haven't seen any good fics for it before I started writing mine. So, what are the limits of his quirk? Well, it's simply can't be anything that would require his own body to change. For example, one of the 3 samples used here in this picture is an original hero I made known as Air Blast, and his quirk was Compress Cannon. It originally changed his arm into a compressed air cannon, but in Izuku's case, it's perfectly functional to make an arm cannon with the suit, with his own hand still in there. But if he were to make a suit with, say, Kuroiro's quirk, Izuku can't physically sink into darkness himself, so the suit just wouldn't function. Same case with Mirio's permeation quirk. He'd just make a suit that falls off of him into the abyss, then rockets back up sometime later to give someone a Mach 5 slime bath. So, I've told you one of the quirks in his permanent standard arsenal, but what are the others? Well, the red glowing quirk in his left hand here is another original retired pro I made, the RPG hero Omnislash. His quirk, Absorb Edge, allows Izuku to absorb any type of energy and convert it into a blade. Electricity, thermal, pure light if there's enough concentrated, but it has to be energy. So don't expect a cold blade, that shit's not possible. His last quirk is of course Gran Torino, because he needed a good mobility quirk and the old man likes his style. Izuku is stuck using only quirks donated to him by retired pros he could get in contact with via his mentors first. He does have a second mentor in this fic, an OC retired pro who now owns a dojo Izuku trains at before going to UA, and still has lessons at twice a week after starting classes. This old pro got him in contact with Air Blast and Omni Slash, completing his first trio of quirks. Moving forward, things are only going to get more interesting for Izuku's arsenal and skill set. You might, of course, wonder how One For All plays in his quirk. You see, before One For All, his copies of quirks were notably weaker unless he burnt through them obnoxiously fast. With One For All, he can apply some of its stockpiled energy to the sample and empower it to something equal to the original user, so long as his body and suit can handle it. Eventually, with higher percentages of One For All, he could empower them into absolute monstrosities, but doing so also burns them out faster by overpowering them with One For All instead of just supplementing. Most importantly though, Izuku doesn't need a costume once he figures out full cowling, because channeling any of One For All forces his quirk to produce a suit. Wielding this suit cushions him against some of the impact force of One For All as well. For now though, he can still only use 100%, and doing so produces enormous limbs for what he calls his Mugen Robo line of techniques. They still hurt him, much like in original canon, but not quite as much. The impact cushioning of the suit does prevent as much breaking from happening, but he still ends up heavily bruised and also burned because of the temperature of the steam that's produced when generating the suit, not to mention melting it away after. My plans for Izuku here are set to challenge him enough for this bit of extra power and versatility he has to be necessary, and the background that led to him having his own quirk changes the Hero Academia timelines drastically enough to ensure you won't know what happens when reading it. You'll have no idea what to expect chapter to chapter, save for a couple of moments that were just too good not to continue or adapt in some manner. You can even expect the movies to be involved in one way or another. I did say David was going to be involved, but he is kind of a fan favorite, so that's to be expected. Some things will be familiar, but the further we get, the more Butterfly Effect starts to look like the Mothra Effect. So, I hope you all approve of this design. I'm pretty proud of it, but I'm sure a lot of people I know and can't afford to commission could do a hell of a lot better. This will certainly do for now, though. So, here he is. Midoriya Izuku, the Mugen Rider. As usual, another Patreon poll to determine the next Fandom Speedpaint will be put up. And if you want to see the fic itself, I'll be linking to both the fanfiction.net and archive of our own versions in the description below. Thanks for watching this to the end. This is Envoy of Kairos, signing out, and I'll see you guys soon for another video. Later. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking to support me a little further, maybe get some bonus content or just keep up with me and other fans, you can find links down in the description leading to my Patreon, my Discord, and my Twitter. And if you're following me on Patreon, then you can expect some content polls to decide what's coming up on the channel yet. A little bit of background additions to some other series I've been working on, some more original and creative stuff. And who knows, if enough of you start supporting me soon, I might have a few other surprises up my sleeve too. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again on the next video.